right, so we'll kick off. So, hey, welcome back everyone to another episode of our podcast series. Definitely focused on the hospitality space. I'm Robert Thomas III, co-founder of Scale Up Partners, where we help where we help companies leverage AI and data-driven approaches to scale and grow their organization and scale their business. Today we have an exciting podcast participant who we've invited on the call. She has over a decade plus experience, 2 decades plus experience in the hospitality space. And yeah, I mean, how could you be mad at someone with the company name of Central Coast Party Helpers, right?
Yeah,
So without further ado, I want to introduce, is it Brigitte? I want to make sure,
it's
or Bridget.
Bridget. Yeah.
Bridget. Okay, want to introduce Bridget and just welcome you on the call. And first of all, I want to say thank you and maybe just give a quick introduction of yourself to our audience.
Okay. My name is Brigitte Faulkner. I live on the central coast of California, the lovely wine country, Paso Robles, and I cover Monterey to Santa Barbara with uh, wait staff, bartenders, kitchen help, private chefs, cooking shows, and wedding and planning coordination as well.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So yeah, let's just dive in. I mean, 25 years in this
Yeah.
space. Um, like just give us, I know we can't capture 25 years in this entire podcast, but would love to just understand you and your journey of kind of how you got here and what got you started in this space.
Well, I was born and raised in Los Angeles in the 60s, and I always loved throwing parties. And I always asked my mom, can I cook something and have some people over? And she was in the event business as well, did seminars all over the country for hundreds of people. And I'd always sit and watch her sit in her moo out in the backyard in the sunshine with a notepad and a pen. And in those days, we didn't have cell phones or computers
Yeah.
or anything. So she would flip through these notepads and take notes and type up things, on an old typewriter and mail things to people to review. It was the old fashioned
Yeah.
way. So it was a lot of work, but I always wanted to just throw parties and have people over. So I was actually in business with E.F. Hutton and Payne Weber and Morgan Stanley in the financial field for about 20 years. And then my husband at that time and I decided, yeah, we got to get out of LA. We're having a baby and we didn't want to live there anymore and raise her. So he was singing and cooking for people at the time. And I said, let's just take it to Paso. So we did. We packed up everything, moved up to Paso, and bought a house. Our daughter was 4 at the time. So she was entering the wonderful school systems. And I took about 6 months off. And then I realized I really wanted to get back into something. So we took the his talents and started cooking for the church and singing and
Amazing.
entertaining. And then we started a cooking show at Idler's home here in Paso Robles. And then our marriage fell apart and he left and I was stuck holding the bag trying to figure out what am I going to do? I don't cook. So I went
Yeah.
ahead and kept the show going and brought in chefs and it just exploded. We just had such a great time. And then I was because I'm behind the scenes making things happen, I thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to take a couple of days off and clear my head. So I went up north and started camping out for a couple of days and cleared my head. Came back, hit the ground running with Central Coast Party Helpers. So now, since then, I plan and coordinate and staff events. And then I've expanded to Monterey and Santa Barbara. And we do about 200 weddings and events a year.
That is amazing. Man, yeah, that's amazing. So, side note, I've been married, me and my wife have been married for 2 years, and uh, yes, just say the wedding process was
Yeah.
a bit frustrating, more
Yeah.
frustrating than I would
It
have
could.
thought. And we planned ours. I proposed. This was not on purpose at all. I proposed on April 1st. It was
Oh,
not.
no.
It literally just happened to be on April 1st. But anyways, we planned our wedding within like 5 to 6 months, so it
Oh,
was really condensed. But we did have a lot of help. Probably a little bit more help than we wanted.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that process of wedding and event planning is some people have a skill for it. I don't. Some people do. So yeah, 200 weddings in a year.
Yeah.
That is amazing. How big? Maybe talk to me a little bit more about your team that kind of helps you with all this planning and kind of doing the events. Is it just you, or is it like you have
Oh,
a
well.
team of staff?
So headquarters is here in Paso Robles in my little house
Yeah,
downtown, and then
yeah,
I have a team of three staff that come in, and one of my in-house coordinators who graduated from Cal Poly in the hospitality
yeah.
field, and she was my intern, and now she's actually coordinating. And then
Interesting, amazing.
I know I have a girl that's been with me since she was 15, and she's going to be 21, and she started off bussing tables and scraping plates, and she started to catch on, and I started to see her talent and eagerness, and so she started to evolve, and I took her under my wing, and
Amazing.
she's about to be one of my rockin' coordinators, just like Emily. And then I have
Amazing.
an administrative assistant that kind of runs all the nuts and bolts, and so we have three girls plus me and my dog and two cats in the office, sometimes
They're important.
all at once. And then when the bookkeeper comes in on Friday, so it's a full house, but we all work well together, and I bring in lunch and we get to walk the dog. But sometimes my dog is good therapy because she'll say we got to go for a walk, and then I can get some space, some breathing, and then come back and be refreshed. So and then I have two cats, and sometimes they walk across the keyboard when
Yeah,
I'm on my Zoom calls with my brides. They just love it. They say this is perfect. It kind of eases the moment, at the tension of planning a wedding can be like white knuckles on a roller
yeah,
coaster.
yeah,
You're going up, up, up. And I tell them, I say, look, you're going to have white knuckles. I'm going to take
yeah,
you through it. We're going to be like freaking out in the beginning, and then we're going to coast right down into it. And then we're going to be fine, and you're going to feel so much better after the call. It's just, I
yeah,
need to tell you what's going to happen. And then I have about 50 staff that work for me in all three counties. I have coordinators in all three counties, and I go up to Monterey a couple times a month, and then in Santa Barbara as well. So, and I've got places to stay in both places. And
yeah,
my childhood friend, since I was about, I guess, 9 or 10 years old, lives in Monterey, and she has a day spa.
yeah.
I go up there and get treatments while I'm
Yeah.
working.
There you go. You got to squeeze it in at some time, right?
I know. It's self care is so important because
Yeah,
running on a hamster wheel, running, and then
yeah,
you get off and you get back on and it's still going. It doesn't stop. You have
yeah.
to catch up with it, and it could just be nuts. And then the brides are sometimes they're very needy,
Oh, I have
and
one.
the moms.
I have
Like,
one and both of them,
yeah,
mother in-law and my mother.
sometimes I feel sorry for the guys, and I
Oh,
candid with them and I say, look, it's your wedding too.
yeah,
You have to put a few pennies in and say a few things about what you want. And I could read them when we're on our Zoom call like this, when I do a free consultation. I'm looking at their eye contact
yeah,
and how where they're positioned. If they're sitting next to
yeah,
each other, if he's sitting in the back a little bit, then I know who is running the show, and it's usually her. But I have to draw
yeah.
him out a little bit and say, "Hey, you're a part of this too. What do you want?" And then he looks at her, and I don't look at her. Just tell me what you
Yeah.
really want without her looking at you.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, that's important. I was yeah, my wife definitely my wife knew my wife is a true planner. She knew, so we have a little girl, her name is Nova. She
Oh,
knew the name of her first child when she was 12 years old. So that
oh
just
my,
tell you the type of woman I marry.
that's
She's
good. That's good.
wedding. Yeah, she knows what she wanted for the wedding. She knows what the baby's name was before
Oh my
even we
God.
got married. I'm like, okay, this is yeah, okay, this is what we're gonna do. So,
Yeah, just go
yeah,
along for the ride and enjoy it.
yeah, gotcha. So on the business side of things, again, you got 50 people working for you. You have a team of three or four that's kind of headquartered that's locally with you to kind of help support some things. What are some, I guess, out of this 25 years experience, what are some of the biggest challenges that you've seen from a, CEO standpoint that you've maybe had to overcome?
Oh, I'm not overcome yet. It's still it's still a challenge. It's an ongoing
Yeah,
challenge. Well, as you grow, your systems grow too, and they expand. And so
yeah,
you need more software. And then you have
yeah,
to try to integrate them. And then you
yeah,
have to look at the numbers, which I hate looking at the numbers.
yeah,
Uh, but you got to keep the lights on. You got to keep the people fed. You got to be able to have certain inventory. Not a lot. I make my brides rent everything, and I do it for them. But there's I don't have any perishable inventory like florists or bakers or caterers, which is really amazing. But
yeah,
perishable inventory and employees will bring you down if you let it.
yeah,
You have to control it. So I only have half of that problem.
yeah,
But all my employees are great. I mean, I just got another email today from somebody in Monterey for the Monterey Symphony that said once again they were just awesome, and
yeah,
they take the ball and run with it, and they know what to do, and so there's that challenge. And then when COVID hit, that was just really bad. But I got
yeah,
really creative, and I created a position called uh, sanitation valet.
yeah,
And that was just a fancy word for walking around with a squirt bottle, wiping things down, but it
yeah,
felt comfortable for people.
yeah,
So we were able to create. You have to think out of the box.
yeah,
So I kept a lot of my people employed and a lot of my venues booked. Well, we had to change a few things around, but COVID was tough on everybody. And then afterwards, it's just been harder to hire to get good people because they're getting handouts from the government. And
yeah,
so,
yeah,
I was brought up to work, work, work. And playing house was, my dad said, grab a broom. This
yeah,
is playing house. You have to sweep and clean and all that stuff. But uh, these kids these days, they don't have the ethics and the integrity that and the hard work drive that I had when I was growing up, and my dad and mom before that. So it's tough to maneuver. So I overstaff the events. And so if something happens, then I'm okay. If we have extra, that's okay too. I'm happy to employ more people. But the
yeah,
challenge, I think, with all companies is numbers, knowing your numbers, your systems, and your employees.
yeah. Now, those are all big things, especially as you get bigger and having those, SOPs and different systems in place kind of help you accelerate your growth there. And when you talk about software, again, this 2025 AI and Gen AI, you can't wake
Mhm.
up without hearing it or, reading something about it. From a software standpoint, how are you leveraging maybe technology today to create, high levels of efficiency to kind of keep your operations, as frictionless as possible?
Well, we have we use HoneyBook for our scheduling and communications. It's like a CRM.
Yep.
Um, it's integrated some AI with regard to the chat when you have to talk to somebody about something. It
Yep.
says, "Oh, by the way, this is a bot, so uh, if you want a real person, let us know." And so I
Yeah.
work with it until I have to say, no, I need a person.
Yeah.
And so, but they're being honest about it, and that's the way it is, and it's okay. Um, I've been using a little bit of Chat GPT when I have some downtime. I ask it some questions. I'm training. I have a man's voice on my Chat GPT, so I'm
Yep.
training him to learn my language of how I do things.
Yeah.
And so it's like a personal relationship. I don't want anybody else going in there and messing
Yeah.
things up. So I'm training him to understand my ways, and then I
Yeah.
ask him to do certain things and then take out this and put in that. And so it's a relationship. Um, and then um, for social media posts, my my girls are using AI and ChatGPT for some of the um, Instagram and Facebook posts because
Yeah.
there's a company out there called Blaze, and apparently it's
Yeah.
super cool. And you can pre-program things, and it starts to learn your voice and your character
Yep.
and your style. And so it's evolving with us. And
Yep.
they handle all that. I don't know. I don't want to know. I just
Yeah.
know that the calls are coming in, and
Yeah.
how did you find me? And then they tell me, and then I punch that into Honeybook about how they found us, and then we run reports, and we find out where are our leads coming from, and then we lean in.
That's amazing. And so most of, again, just ask you this question because we have other hospitality leaders here, so there may be some ideas that could be sparked from that. But so most of your leads seems like a good portion of those are coming through those social media channels today.
Yeah, about 2/3 come from um, like we have a constant contact email blast that goes out once a month to like 4,000 people. Then there's the social media, then there's the Knot, Wedding Wire, Thumbtack, and then there's the Chambers, and then there's my cooking show, and then we get about a third are repeats and referrals and recommendations, and I do a lot of I have a lot of nonprofits,
Yeah,
so I think I donate about I don't know, 15, $20,000 a year worth of services
it's
and
amazing.
gifts, yeah, to our nonprofits. So if they're an animal nonprofit, then they get a lot of attention. We have a
Yeah,
lot of animals at rescues and
yeah,
sanctuaries, and then of course people, big brothers, big sisters, the Boys and Girls Club, veterans, and anytime I get wind of a, a nonprofit or a benefit that they're trying to raise money, I help out however I can and
yeah,
offer gift certificates for cooking shows and in their what do you call it, silent auction baskets.
yeah.
So I get
That's
some
amazing.
yeah I get some good clients from them because they want to have a party, so they buy the basket with wine and
Yep.
whatnot. And then they're also some of them are philanthropists, so they just buy baskets and hand them out. And then whoever gets it calls me and says, "Hey, I want a ticket or $100 off of your services," and so there you go. Then it builds a whole nother relationship.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. Definitely to pay it forward. And yeah, definitely kudos. You don't really hear a lot of CEOs who say, giving back is important. So it's refreshing to hear that from you. So when it comes to this is like one question we usually like to ask. If you had a magic wand and if you could solve anything, in your business, I know you originally talked about hiring, good people that's hardworking is something that, obviously that's important, right? You want to keep your people. You also want to hire good people as well that stays with you for a long time. But if you had a magic wand and wish that you could solve anything in your business today, what would be that big idea that you would maybe tackle?
Well, uh, gosh, it's not that tough because I have a vision and I have a dream.
Yeah,
Um, and I guess the most difficult thing is the day-to-day grind. You know, every day I have to work on uh, staffing, and every day I have to work on onboarding. The onboarding process is a nightmare. California has got so many rules. We have to have the W-4 and the I-9 and uh, I have a handbook, I have training videos, I have to upload driver's license, social security cards, the direct deposit, the you
yeah,
name it. It's just a nightmare. So it takes about 2 to 3 hours to onboard one person if they stay at the computer the whole time and don't go away.
yeah.
But they can't do that. And then my
And this is
training
for the
videos,
people that are paying
onboarding.
you to be a wedding, to do a wedding.
No, these are like onboarding employees.
Oh, employees. Okay, gotcha, gotcha. I
Yeah.
get what you're saying.
So
Okay,
there's
gotcha.
there's a there's a bunch of stuff that has to be done through a system that we have a software program, and it's pretty easy. It goes smoothly, but getting people to fill that stuff out is just a nightmare, and I can't work them unless they do. So
Yeah.
sometimes it takes a few days to get them to go through that, and we're trying to figure out an easier way. And so that would be, if I had a magic wand, I would make that just a one-stop shop, be done in 15
Yeah.
minutes, and get to work, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and that, and I guess that I would like to have a venue of my own that I can have nonprofit events all the time,
Yeah.
and also paid events, weddings, and you know, corporate events, and fun stuff as well to keep the lights on. So that would be my magic wand, I guess, to handle
Gotcha.
the staffing headaches, with the onboarding and keeping everybody happy, as well as having a bigger space to work in. My house is real small and we're
Yeah.
crammed, but um, if I just keep plugging away and get some vision and some goals and start working backwards, I should be able to get to where I want to be and have a big house and make a lot more people happy.
Yeah. That's amazing. And how many people, I guess, well, you say you have 50 people, but I'm sure you're probably every week maybe pulling new people on
Oh yeah.
different projects. So that could probably be a couple people a week that you're maybe onboarding potentially.
Yeah, well, we have
Yeah.
3 weddings on Saturday, and we're coordinating and staffing all of them.
Yeah.
And so we have one for 380 people, another one for
Oh,
200, and another one for about 80.
oh,
And so
wow.
we had to we had to do a lot of onboarding this week to get some extra help for this. And
Yeah.
then we just have a few till the end of the year, and then on New Year's Eve we have a 500 person wedding.
Oh,
Yeah.
God bless you.
And so sometimes I pull people, like I can pull my San Luis people and send them up to Monterey, and I can pull them and send them down to Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
But I don't often pull Santa Barbara up um, to San Luis. I don't, the San Luis people go in different directions.
Yeah.
Uh, and then of course I'm at every event that I can be. I work
Yeah.
my I work my myself.
Yeah.
I kept my comfortable shoes and my water, and I'm running around a lot. Sometimes I'm doing dishes, taking out trash, or just saying hi to grandma and grandpa and patting them on the back and say welcome and enjoy. And then my staff try to keep me out of the kitchen,
Yeah.
because I kind of mess things up a little bit now and then. But it's just fun. We have fun, and the crunch time is when the food has to be served. But then that only takes like half an hour to 45 minutes. And then we're coast back into bussing and scraping plates and replenishing. Then the dessert, then there's a send off and all
Yeah.
that stuff. But I like to work all the events. Sometimes I pop in on every one of them and I land where I want to be.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. That's amazing. And thank you for sharing that. Man, that's we only had 120 people at our wedding, so 500. I can imagine
Yeah,
the coordinating that
yeah,
takes. So last question again, I want to keep this be cautious of your time. One thing I like to ask is again, we have hospitality leaders that could be listening to this. They're very experienced, maybe they're very new, maybe they're entrepreneurs, maybe they're starting out. What is one piece of advice that you would share with someone who may be a new entrepreneur in the hospitality space that is trying to be successful? What's one piece of advice maybe that you live by or that you've learned that you would want to share and kind of as a way of giving back to those new entrepreneurs?
well, I would connect and do the research and the due diligence first. Plan to have 6 months worth of living expenses in the bank. And I mean, this is more than just one piece of information, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go
uh,
ahead.
you have to be prepared because there's
Yeah,
going to be, and you have to have self care. So, I
yeah,
mean, I had a spa treatment the other day. I went and got a massage and, all that stuff. And you have to, because it's like you're putting together a plane and your own garage, and then all of a sudden the plane's ready to go down the runway, and then you're up in the air, and now you go, oh no, now what do I do? So you
yeah,
have to have all the moving parts. You have to be able to watch the dashboard of the car, so to speak, you know, all of your oil and water and all those things, and keep a close eye on all the moving parts and set a goal for what you think you'd like to have by the end of the year as far as money
Yeah.
goes, and then count backwards and say, well, how many events do I have to do each month to do that? What is the season that we're going to have? We only have a March through October season, so then what are you going to
Yeah.
do the rest of the time?
Yeah.
And then learn your systems, put your systems in place, roll up your sleeves, and just, hang on.
There you go. There you go, folks. Well, there you have it. No, that was yeah, that was great. I think that was yeah, some great advice. Again, we'll film through. We'll pop up the end and make sure it's all professional. But yeah, I think that was a very good recording. I think it resonate with me as far again, the hospitality space. I think people don't understand the planning it takes to run
Yeah,
a business like this, especially hospitality. You're always dealing with people.
yeah,
um
a
and
lot of
people's
people.
wants and expectations and past experience are fueled into like their vision. And so yeah, I definitely kudos to you. And yeah, you probably have to have a lot of patience.
I do. I don't have much, but I do what I can, and my girls have more patience than I do. So sometimes they see me all wound up tight. It's like winding a clock, and then if you
Yeah,
too tight, it's going to explode. So they
yeah,
come and unwind me a little bit and say, "Okay, let's do this." And
yeah,
it's just you have to have a team. You have to have
yeah,
support and people you
yeah,
can count on to run stuff by and get some opinions because everybody wants to help.